Conklin looking deep down the right sideline. Wide open, Corey Willis again. 20-10, Central Michigan touchdown.
Central Michigan brought out these new white helmets on Saturday as they crushed Ball State 56-9, their third consecutive win over the Cardinals. We've got all the highlights coming up next on Chippewa Rewind. Welcome into Chippewa Rewind with head coach John Bonamigo. I'm Adam Jacksa. A huge win for your team on Saturday at Ball State, 56-9. Coach, how was your team able to dominate?
Well, we had a pretty bad taste in our mouth after last week. I felt it was important for us to go out and have a great week of preparation. And, you know, our guys worked hard during the week and they earned the victory. They were able to go out and execute. We were able to play a complimentary game. I thought both sides of the ball did really well, and we had a positive contribution out of the kicking game.
You had over 200 yards rushing. You had a blocked punt. Very efficient play from Shane Morris. What stuck out to you, though, most in that performance? 8 sacks as well from your defense.
I think, again, it was a lot of different things, but our ability to move the ball on the ground was something that you know, we hadn't done with any real consistency in the last few weeks, and so that was a point of emphasis going into the week. You know, it was a very determined effort on our part. You know, I think it starts up front with our offensive line. Those 5 guys working together did a really good job, and you know, I think we've established that we've got a stable of really good running backs. You know, I still think, you know, when you look at the film as we do as coaches, we're very, very critical. That's what I've challenged the team with now, is to understand that we did some good things, but realize also that there's still room for improvement. We're still want to push the envelope and close that gap between our potential and where we actually are.
A lot of highlights from Saturday's win at Ball State. We'll take you inside Schumann Stadium, and it started with your defense. As we mentioned, they had a big day getting to the quarterback. Joe Ostman especially had 4 sacks, career high for him. Here's the first on their opening possession. Yeah,
it was good to get a 3-and-out here quickly by the defense. Here, you know, Joe comes around the corner. Quarterback starts to scramble. He's able to run him down from the backside and get the first of, as you mentioned, his 4 sacks on the day.
Coach, how cool is it to see Joe Ostman's name at the top of college football? He now leads college football with 10 sacks this season.
Yeah, it's great to see him up there. He's definitely a guy on the team that is kind of your model of what you want on and off the football field. You know, he's one of the leaders on our team, and we plan to see bigger and better things on him as we move through these final 4 weeks of the regular season.
Yeah, he definitely earned it. 5 tackles yesterday, 4 for sacks. And then not only does your defense get a 3-and-out, you come right back down the field and score. Here's that run game. Jonathan Ward gets into the end zone.
Yeah, we're able to, you know, kind of methodically push it down the field. We had good field position, and here, you know, we get the inside handoff to Jonathan. He gets a nice lane, and he does the rest. Good job up there by the O-line to open that up.
17 rushes for just under 100 yards for Ward. They do get a couple of field goals to make it 7-6. We push to the second quarter, and here's a big run from Romello Ross.
Yeah, this is a nice job here of an outside zone play. You see Conklin come off the double team and block the alley defender. He's getting a good job blocking by a wide receiver downfield and Mark Chapman. And Romello just kind of stays on the path, gets to the corner, and then he knows what to do when he's in the open fields. Very well executed play all the way across the board.
Shane Morris had an extremely efficient day, and this may be one of his best plays. Scrambles around, keeps his heads up, and he throws a strike to Ty Conklin in the end zone.
Yeah, this is a really good pass here. You know, we kind of get a high-low safe on the safety there. Conklin wins over the top, and as you kind of mentioned, Shane does a really good job. He's got a little bit of inside pressure, stepping up, sliding in the pocket. He's able to find Ty down there and make an on-target throw for the easy score there.
14-6 Central Michigan in that second quarter, and How about Ball State? They decided not to guard Corey Willis on Saturday. He's wide open here for another long touchdown.
Well, this is, again, obviously a miscommunication in the back end here. Coming out of a tight bunch formation, we've got Conklin on the post, which he just scored on, and then, they don't come off on Corey. Again, Shane does a nice job of getting the ball to him for an easy catch and score.
5 catches for 98 yards for Corey Willis and 3 touchdowns. Great to see him get in the end zone. 21-6 Central Michigan late in the half, and your team goes after the kick, and you get your first punt block of the season.
Yeah, it's good to see us come free on one here. This is a nice job here by Gerard Davis, reserve running back. He breaks through, he's able to get the block, and we really need to work on our scoop and score there. I think that Tiandre, I think those two of them looked like they were fighting over the ball, but nonetheless, it was a great job, and it sets up a score here at the end of the half, which was a great way to start it off, especially considering we're going to get the ball back again at the beginning of the second half.
DeAndre Harvey wanted to see his buddy Jonathan Ward get into the end zone. He does here, Coach, as you mentioned, to finish off the half.
Yeah, this is a nice job here with power play, get a nice lane inside. Ward's able to run behind his pads, accelerate through that crease, and get into the end zone for his second touchdown of the day.
28-6, your team in front, and had to keep going in the second half to make sure the Cardinals didn't come back. A lot of highlights coming up in the final 30 minutes. We'll show you that when we come back on Chippewa Rewind. Come out and support Central Michigan in their next home football game on Wednesday, November 8th. The Chippewas welcome in the Eastern Michigan Eagles to Kelly Short Stadium. Game time is still to be determined. It's the first Wednesday home game, so claim your seats before it's too late. You can purchase tickets by visiting Ticket Central, calling 1-888-FIRE-UP2, or by going to cmuchippewas.com. Once again, we hope to see you at Kelly Short Stadium on November 8th for a MAC West showdown against Eastern Michigan. Kickoff is still to be determined. Chippewas in front 28-6 against the Cardinals on Saturday at the break. And Coach, this was a huge point in the game to start the second half. Your team turns it over with a fumble on the first play, and then your defense makes a stand, holds the Cardinals to a field goal. How important was that moment?
It was huge. Certainly that's not the way you ever want to script things or start any game or any series off with turnover. But, our defense was put to a test. They did a great job of coming up with a stop, holding Ball State to a field goal, and that's all you can ask for them in that situation, and they came through in a stellar fashion.
So it's 28-9. The Cardinals get those 3 points, and that would be the rest of their scoring for the day. We talked about Joe Osman getting 4 sacks. This is a 4th and 4, a change of possession as he really chases down the quarterback and gets to him.
Yeah, he is kind of the Energizer Bunny there. We actually have a tech stunt there called where he's coming underneath. Quarterback gets flushed out, but he's still able to run him down for the sack. It's another great effort by our defensive line and applying pressure to the quarterback. We sacked him a total of 8 times, and I think we hit him at least that many times as well. So, that young man was under a lot of duress yesterday, and a lot of it is from that front 4. Whether it was Joey on his side, Mike Dana, Mitch Stanizak, and then our guys inside, Chris Canavelos, Nathan Brisson Fast, and young Robbie Stewart even got in on the action, true freshman that's playing in there at the defensive tackle. So those guys deserve a lot of credit. One guy gets a sack, but it's usually a coordinated effort in there in terms of, somebody's got to push the pocket from the inside to get the quarterback to flush out. But very good job on that play and really all game long by our defensive front.
Continue to praise Joe Osman, but now 10 sacks for the season. He's only the second Chippewa ever to have 10 in a season. Dan Bazine did it twice. Good company, as Dan had over 30 sacks in his Chippewa career.
Definitely, if you're a defensive lineman, those are the names you want to be associated with. And, Joey's he's earned it. He's done it the right way. He does everything the right way on and off the field. And, as I've said many times, he is truly the model student athlete.
3rd and 11 here, and another nice throw. Willis wide open again up the sideline.
Yeah, again, this one was a little bit different here. Now we bring the under route. They jumped that. They were just, what can I say? They wanted to cover Conklin. They left Corey open there. Again, nice job by Shane of stepping up. Good pocket on that one. and easy throw and catch for another score.
Makes it 35-9. We move to the fourth quarter. Here's another nice run. Ward has a nice hole up the middle, and he bursts through.
Yeah, this is a nice job here on an inside run. You see Kumino really leading up through there and blocking the linebacker. Jonathan is not a young man that needs a lot of room. If you leave him a crease and he's able to hit that with his shoulder square, he's going to burst through it, and that's exactly what he did. You know, he's up to the second level, you know, in the blink of an eye. And, you know, that was very close to being maybe his third touchdown of the afternoon there.
Close, but next play, Corey Willis again, and this is a passing touchdown, his third of the day. Great to see him get in the end zone again.
Yes, it is. So this is speed sweep. Again, you can see Conklin out there on the perimeter getting a key block on the corner support. But we do a nice job of sealing the edge. You know, Corey's able to get the ball in the end zone virtually untouched. It's again, nice job by everybody up front.
So that makes it 42-9, your team in front. And Coach Sean Bunting has made some terrific plays, returned a field goal block a couple of weeks ago. How about this play? He strips it and then has the presence of mind to toss it back to Alonzo McCoy, and your team gets in the end zone again.
Yeah, I mean, this is a great job on the strip. It's exactly how you practice it. You know, this is one of those plays when you're on the headset and you see him trying to lateral it. You know, it starts off, everybody's going, no, 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 and it ends up going, go, 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 go. So it was a really exciting play in the game. You know, would have been happy just with the turnover here, but to be able to get the strip, and then you see Alonzo McCoy, another freshman playing in there, redshirt freshman. He's able to get his first career score. It's pretty neat. Neat thing to watch happen.
So 49-9, Kumino Gawili with a big run at the end, 56-9, the biggest margin of victory ever in this series. It was the 50th all-time meeting on Saturday. What a confidence-building win for your squad, a nice victory to come back to Mount Pleasant too.
Yeah, again, like I started to show off saying, we had a pretty bad taste in our mouth from a week ago. We knew we were a better football team. Credit to our players and assistant coaches to, you know, really commit themselves to the process, continue to grind, staying together. You know, when you have adverse times as a team, it's really easy, you know, if things were going to splinter, that's when they'd happen. Again, credit the leadership in the locker room and the character on the team for not allowing that to happen. Excellent week of preparation and excellent performance in the game.
Your team now 4-4, 2-2 in the conference, and of course looming next, the rivals from Kalamazoo, Western Michigan. We'll talk about the Broncos when we come back, but first, Tyler Conklin decided not to play basketball, and certainly you're happy he didn't. We'll talk to him when we come back on Chippewa Rewind.
I remember when I was looking at schools, my dad told me that when I found the right one, I would definitely know, and it was going to be a feeling. And when I was here, it felt like home. And the people here, they felt like family. And I remember being in the bookstore, and I was picking out all this apparel, but I was like, what, do you think you're coming here or something? I was like, you know, matter of fact, I think I am.
I would like to say thank you so much for all of your support and donations that you've given to our university over the course of the years. We look forward to making you proud on and off the field, not only the football team, but all of the athletic programs at our university, and we promise to make you proud.
I'd like to personally thank you for your support and investment in Central Michigan athletics. Your generosity allows our student athletes to compete on a national level, academically, athletically, and personally. Once again, thank you for your support, and fire up Chips.
Crazy. Morris back to throw it again. Now he's scrambling, wants to throw it on the run. Left-hand side has a man in the end zone. It's going to be caught by Ty Conklin. Was he in? Still waiting on the indication. There it is. Touchdown, Ty Conklin.
Well, all throughout my high school career, I was always a basketball player. I mean, that's kind of my life. My whole life growing up, I just was basketball, basketball, basketball. I mean, I also played football, but I just kind of was in love with basketball. And going to my senior year, I ended up signing early with Northwood. So the early signing period was like November, I think. I think I might have been a little burnt out of basketball, just doing it my whole life. And got back in contact with the coaches. It was Coach Cummings at the time, who was the old offensive line coach. They kind of talked to him about wanting to transfer over, maybe walking on. And he told me I could walk on for spring ball, but it wouldn't mean I have a spot in the fall because I have to cut down to 105 people. And but he gave me a chance in spring ball, so I came in and played receiver. I mean, it was definitely rocky, but it was good to make the transition to kind of be in a place I wanted to be.
That place was the football field. Senior Ty Conklin made Central Michigan his home sophomore year. He joined the Chippewas with aspirations of making football a career.
The more I thought about it, for my future, I just thought football was the right move. I mean, just to try to reach my dream of playing at the professional level, I thought football was the right choice. I mean, it was difficult to have a full-ride scholarship at a school playing the sport that you've always played, to go and transfer, change sports, go to a bigger school, and have to start paying for school. A lot of my grandparents weren't really, didn't think it was really the best idea to go and have to start paying for school when you have it for free. And it was just kind of a decision I had to make to be happy and try to reach my ultimate goal. So it was difficult, but I had a great support system to get through with my family and my friends, and everybody always believed in me, and I believed in myself, so it ended up getting easier and easier down the road.
Conklin has become a force for the Chippewas with 3 touchdowns and nearly 200 receiving yards in the past 2 games. Those are the only games he's played this year because of an injury early in fall camp.
And so to come in here my first 45 minutes of my first practice and in a one-on-one, my first one-on-one route, break my foot, it was devastating at first. I mean, I was praying for the best, but that kind of was devastating to me to think that my whole senior season might be over. And after, kind of being hurt about it for a couple of days, I just realized I had to do my best to research and figure out everything I could do to recover as fast as possible and get back on the field. And then kind of came down to the decision of, do I come back fast and maybe risk re-injury and play the second half of the season, or do I just pack it up and get completely healthy for a super senior year? But to come back and do it with the people I came in with was something I just felt like obligated to do, and to come back and try to help this team as much as possible to get done to accomplish what we want to accomplish was something I wanted to do, and I'm happy I made the decision I did. The chance to still win 8-9 games and win a bowl game for the first time in a long time is something that this school needs, and it could be huge. It's definitely possible to win out the next 5 regular season games, even though you have to take it one by one, and then get to that bowl game and win and get a ring that every senior needs and deserves. So that's kind of my main focus ahead of me right now, along with just keep getting better every day. So after the season, I do make that transition to go through the whole draft process and hopefully make that dream come true and get drafted in April. That's really the ultimate goal.
4 touchdowns now for Conklin, as he had another one on Saturday. And Coach, a unique path for him. He didn't do just football. He did basketball, came to you guys, and he's gotten real good real fast.
Yeah, he has. He's really developed. It's been awesome to watch him grow as a player over the past 3 years. Every pro scout that comes through has questions about him. I think he's got a tremendous amount of upside because he can do so many things. The more jobs that you can have on game day, the greater chance you have of not just making a team, but sticking around for a long time. So he will have earned the right to be among the elite in the world because he most certainly will have an opportunity to do that.
Coach, we all know what's next. It's Western Michigan Week, a rivalry that's lasted over 100 years, started a while back in the early 1900s, and you're traveling down to Waldo Stadium to try and end a 3-game slide to that program. How do you get ready for this rivalry game?
There's not much you need to say to the team about the importance of the rivalry. They understand it. I think it's important that we have a great week of preparation. I think in any of these games, I think you have to be careful not to, allow the team to peak too soon. You want to kind of keep everything on a low boil and, turn it up at the right time, which is, right before you take the field for the game.
November 1st in Kalamazoo at Waldo Stadium, 8 o'clock kick, Western Michigan, Central Michigan. Coach, good luck bringing the victory cannon home to Mount Pleasant. Hopefully you guys can pick up a victory.
Thank you very much, and thanks for everybody for all your support. Stick with us and fire up chips.
All right, the next game's a big one. Hopefully it's a win for Central Michigan. We'll break it down either way when we come back the following week on Chippewa Rewind. For head coach John Bonamigo, I'm Adam Jackson. Have a terrific week and fire up chips.